Long answer, sorry.
No, it's a beautiful answer. Can I use the chair maybe? Because
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you weren't comfortable. Of course.
No, it's my fault. Milan Games Week e finalmente sono riuscito ad avvicinare Brian Michael Bendis. Hello Brian.
Hello. My Italian does not exist, so thank you for having
I
me.
will use the telephone for the questions because also my English could be really difficult, but I will try.
No problem.
I will try to be really professional, but it will be difficult because I'm a huge fan of your work.
Oh, thank you.
You are probably one of my favorite writers.
Oh.
So I will try.
Thank you.
It's a little
It's
bit
comics.
hard.
You don't have to be professional. It's comics. We're the game show. There's nothing professional here.
I know, but for this occasion I have to be professional. of
Okay,
course. So
no problem. I appreciate that, though.
So I know your work since from the beginning because I read Fire, I read Goldfish.
Wow, okay, thank you.
Torso. I have my copy of Torso here.
Oh,
I remember.
for those who don't know, you're talking about my earliest days, really like independent comics, very independent comics. So
Yes,
thank you very
definitely.
much.
And I remember also your work on Sam Twitch. So this is how fan I am
Thank
of
you,
your
thank
work.
you.
So I know that you have had to do a long journey to become a professional writer, a
Yeah.
professional artist. So when you see the newcomer writers in 2025, how different do you see their journey or the challenges that we have to face to become professional?
It's always evolving. Like there's always challenges, but they're different challenges. I teach comics writing at a college level, so I'm constantly engaged with the space of people breaking in now versus what it was like for me and my friends to break in the 90s of the books you were talking about. Number one, it's amazing how much quality information about how to make comics is available on YouTube, on websites, that when I was coming up, it was not available. You really had to be like a bit of an archaeologist to really like figure out like what pen should I use? Like what kind of paper am I drawing on? The information wasn't that available. Now it's very available. You can literally watch some of the greatest artists of all time, like drawing on YouTube. Just watch them draw, learn from them, listen to them talk. Watch Scotty Young, watch Michael Avanoming, these long videos of them just showing you how they do it. So there's this treasure of information and inspiration available to young creators that wasn't a different kind than was for us. The other thing is, when we were coming up, it was to like you said Fire and Goldfish. I was very lucky to be published by an independent publisher while I was still in college. If I was coming up today, I would be all over Webtoons. I would be all over my website. It would be constant making content, just putting it out there and trying new things. This space that's out there right now, you don't have to wait for anyone to invite you into comics. You could just make comics and you're in comics. And we tell it to all of our students. There's no wall other than you making it, than you finishing what you start. So.
And you wrote probably every single massive character in the comic book.
I can't believe it, yeah.
In the last years. And I remember that you said that if you love your character, to tell a great story, you have to put him always in danger.
Yeah, well, yes. This is, because the books you talked about were all crime fiction books.
Yes.
I came up as a crime writer, and there's lessons of like film noir and crime fiction that you just learn, and then you apply them to like superheroes. And one of them is, you never put your character where they want to be. You always put them where they least want to be, let them fight their way out or find their way out. That's, and I took that lesson to heart as I was creating new characters for Marvel or engaging with my favorites. It was like, all right, what's Iron Man's worst nightmare? Let's do it. And that's some of the best stories we've ever read from anybody are that kind of stuff. So.
And this is still your attitude when you write a story.
It's the best way to explore the character. Is I see a lot of writers today. It's my one thing I kind of whisper to anyone asks me my advice. don't be nice to your characters. Like, I'd always like people like, why do you hate Daredevil so much? I'm like, no, I love Daredevil.
Yes.
That's why we're doing this to him. So you could see how cool he is. If he was just Daredevil eating a nice sandwich for 22 pages and really enjoying it, I don't think you'd buy the book. Maybe one issue, but I don't think you'd buy the next issue. So, yeah.
Yes, I remember that you said when you were in a comic book shop, maybe someone asked you if he already read something, and you said, if I slapped you in the face, you will remember that.
I worked at a comic store, and people were buying, it was a book called Deathmate. It was like a Valiant Image crossover, and someone came up to the counter and literally said, I don't remember if I bought this. Do you remember if I bought this? And I'm like, it's $5. If I took $5, you'd remember. Like, how do you not remember? So it did make me feel like it was a lesson that I think about for myself, that make sure it's a memorable thing, that it's people are like escaping when they read comics, but they don't want to forget it the minute they read it, you know. But we've had that with movies too, or TV, where you forget the minute you watch it, it's like it went right out of your head. And you want to try at least to like come up with ideas or inspirations that will stay with people beyond the read.
I'm really curious because I saw the previews of Powers 25.
Yes.
And I remember that when you started to write that story, it was a really different time for superheroes. Now with all the movies, all the TV shows, your approach, how is different about these characters?
It's an excellent question. So Powers is a book I do with Michael A. Van Oming. We're amazingly at our 25th anniversary. I can't, for many reasons, I can't believe it. And it's a book about homicide detectives that work in a world of superheroes. So we're starting with a dead superhero with every story, and engaging with mythology and story and genre in a very unique way. But when Powers debuted, it was very much a Watchmen baby. Like a lot of things, Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons created Watchmen, and it showed a more sophisticated look at superheroes that a lot of people lean into as, oh, let's see how naughty we can be. Let's see how dangerous we can be with our superheroes. But over the course of the last 50 years since Watchmen came out, it's been almost that long, so much has been post-Watchmen. I mean, there's The Boys and things like that, but there's also, if you look at the plot of like Captain America: Brave New World, that's a very post-Watchmen idea. So it just seemed to me that like, as grateful as I was to be a Watchmen baby, that ship has long since been seen and looked at from every conceivable angle. And meanwhile, I specifically took a break from superheroes, both shared universe and create our own, because I was worried I was close to repeating myself or engaging with the same ideas, and I wanted to like take a break, clear the palette. And then over the last couple of years, I was surprised how, yes, a lot of new ideas that were not post-Watchmen were like, what's post The Boys? All right, let's say just, there's other things I'm talking about, but like The Boys took it as far as it could go in the media. So I wanted to like develop an idea of what the superheroes would be like past that, like a new generation. And we see it in real life too, where like my children, when they engage with the media in a very different way and put up with stories in a very different way. And I was like, all right, I want to do that. And so with Powers, we have a new generation of detectives, a new generation of Powers, still engaging with the stars of the book, but there's generations have gone by. 25 years have gone by in the book, which is unique. And we get to like explore new ideas of superheroes, new ideas of the media. And I've been very excited that the audience, the reviews have been very nice. Because you could also return to a book and people go, yeah, don't do that.
That's right.
But there's been so many people that I admire who have come back to stuff that they're used to doing. Danny Boyle and 28 Years Later.
Yes.
I thought it was amazing. Completely new ideas. Soderbergh's Black Bag. I don't know if a lot of people didn't see it,
yes,
but
I remember.
that's a very much a Soderbergh movie with very new ideas, and I got very excited about using that as like my inspiration to like come back to Powers with Mike, who was dying to do it the whole time. So
we talk about movies now, and you were a consultant in the first movies of Marvel Cinematic Universe. I remember shots of you with Mark Millar on the set of Iron Man.
Yeah, you can. I forgot because they used to film stuff for the DVDs back in the day, and so it's on YouTube. You could see the footage of us on the set of Iron Man, the earliest days of the MCU. People remember like that first Iron Man movie was basically an independent film.
Yes.
It was financed by bank money. It had a studio to distribute it, but they were making it themselves. So it was all hands on deck. Anyone they trusted, me, Mark, the editors, other executives, everyone come on in and look at this and what's good, what's not, let's make it better. So yeah, it was a great experience. I loved it. And also I wrote the first after credit scene
with Nick Fury.
Yeah, it was the earliest days, and Kevin Feige called. I was at a convention just like this in California, and he called me and goes, it was like Saturday night, and he goes, "Hey, I got a weird one. Samuel L. Jackson is coming in to be Nick Fury as like a favor, like just as like a favor to Robert Downey Jr. We don't have any dialogue. We don't have anything for him to say. We don't have like, do you have anything?" And I spent all night. I stayed up all night. I got so excited about it. I wrote like 4 or 5 like just one-liners, like everything you could possibly think of, like from the silliest, Samuel L. Jackson go get the mother effing armor off your motherfucking ass, and to welcome to the Avengers in my greatest of hopes that could ever happen. And that's, yeah.
And then it happened.
Yeah. But it's amazing to me to just be of an age where Iron Man is an old movie.
Yes.
And it is. I teach college students. They were not alive when that movie came out. None of my kids were born when that movie came out. It's crazy. So when people go, "Oh yeah, that old movie," I'm like,
I feel old myself when I think about that, because I remember when I saw that movie for the first time in the movie theater.
I have, when I'm teaching in class, when we do 3-act structure, of a story has a 3-act structure, I always go to Star Wars, the original Star Wars, because it is classically 3-act structure, right? And then last year, one of my students raised a hand and goes, I'm sorry, do you mean the original Star Wars? And I go, the old British one? I go, British?
What?
Star Wars with Luke Skywalker, yeah, that old British independent film. And I go,
okay.
What's happening? I go, everyone put your heads down. I'm like, we're taking a break. I've never felt older, because to them, Force Awakens is already an old movie.
Yes, oh my God.
It's a 10-year-old movie.
Yes.
So that's how old we are. Yeah.
That's terrible.
No.
My last question for you is, I remember an old interview of you when you talk about how Daredevil 181 by Frank Miller, with the death of Elektra, was what every single comic book creator of your generation want to achieve. That's the reason we want to tell that feeling, that shock.
Yeah. It's a shock, but it's also like character related surprise, like a very earned. Like you're reading the book, you're not like, "Hey, what is this garbage?" You're like, "Oh my God!" Like you totally like, this is an earned shocking moment, an earned death. Yeah, spoilers from 50 years ago. Yeah.
But now that probably, surely you are an inspiration for the new writers. What of your stories you would love to be an inspiration like Daredevil 181 for the new writers?
I'm sorry I made that face when you said that. It's hard for me to see myself. I'm still dealing with Star Wars being an old movie, let alone me being an old person. But it's very nice that I have to like really go, oh yeah, I've been published for 30 years. Like what that feels like to other people. To me and my friends, we're still just figuring it out, you know what I mean? And I know we're all like people with some wins under our belt, but the reason I teach and the reason when I talk to up and coming creators, I kind of really shine a light on the fact that your collaborations are the most important. Like how it feels while you're making the work. Like a shocking, yeah, it's good, but what really matters is how you treat other people, how good of a collaborator you are, how much you came to the assignment with something extra. There's this clip online of Tom Hanks talking about a lesson he learned as a young actor. He was on a set of a early movie, and the director yelled at all the actors. They were all like trying to figure it out. He goes, hey, listen to me. I don't know if you saw this clip. He goes, you have a job. Here's your job. Show up on time, know your lines, and bring something extra to it.
Yes.
And I was like, and he said, he went home and he was like, all right, show up on time, which means be early. So for us, it means hit your deadlines, right? Know your dialogue, which means know what the deal is, like know what the situation that you've been, like what's being asked of you, right? And be there, and bring something extra. What about you makes this special? And do that. Don't shy away from it. Don't hide that part of yourself. That's what people want. That's why you got the chance. And I think about this a lot because he says even in the interview, he goes, that's kind of like the solution to all of life. Show up on time, know why you're there, and bring something, right? And I realize that for many decades, that has been our job. So I tell them, like, don't get lost in the ego or jealousy or worrying about who's got the best book or the biggest book or what's hot and what's not. That can really, I've seen it mess with a lot of people's heads. Like, so just focus on being the best collaborator you can be, being the best energy you can be, and those people who have dedicated their life to that have had a very fulfilling career, a very excellent life. I've now seen that. The people who were focused on the wrong things kind of went away. The people that focus on getting the work done and being their best self, they're still here. They're still kicking ass. That goes from Klaus Janson to Steve Lieber to Mike Oeming to just the people that get it done. And those are the people I admire the most. And that's the kind of career I think anybody would want.
And if I have to choose your old issue of Ultimate Spider-Man with the death of Uncle Ben, that's a masterclass of script.
Thank you. Well, it was so funny.
They have to read that comic book because your path, your choices to bringing on the death of Uncle Ben were amazing.
Well, I lucked out very much because what happened was the whole time I'm like, hey, you want to do Spider-Man? You want to start Spider-Man over from scratch? You're like, yes. But you're like, should I be doing this? Like, and then unrelated to me or Ultimates, Stan Lee did an interview that said, hey man, that origin of Spider-Man is only 11 pages long. And I'm like, so frustrated because that's all the publisher would give me because he was like, ew, spiders, no one wants this. Icky. Kids don't like spiders. He goes, if it was up to me, I wish that thing was like 6-7 issues long. And I'm like, oh, that's like a gift telling me it's okay. Make it 6 issues long. Get to know Uncle Ben. Like I was like, because right now we go, here's Uncle Ben dead. Like let's
Yes.
get to know him a little bit. But it was really funny. At the time the book came out, there were still some readers that thought it was like an alternate history that like, oh, he's going to kill Aunt May.
Okay.
And so, Uncle Ben's still around. Aunt May's so when we killed Uncle Ben, they were like, oh no, how could you? I'm like, you must know that was what was going to happen. I mean, it was, so I was very surprised that people thought we were going to do something else. I'm like, that's not the story of Spider-Man. It's not broken. We're just trying to like tell it, you know.
Well, they did it last year with the new Ultimate Spider-Man by John Hickman. With
Yes,
Uncle
but
May,
yeah, a whole
May.
different. Again, that's 25 years later. He had a very different job than I had. So, yeah, my job was to introduce a new generation to the idea of Spider-Man, and that's the idea of Spider-Man.
And you did it in a perfect way.
I love it, John, and I love the whole new Ultimate line. It's at one point it looked like it was going to go away. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. That's 20 years of my life. I would like it to stay, but still a gift. So keeping it alive has kept our books alive. It's just, and I'm a huge fan of Jonathan's. And I tell people, if anyone hasn't read it yet, Aliens versus Avengers is surprisingly outstanding. Not that because of them, that it's when you hear a crossover idea like that, you think it's going to be like fun. It's very well done. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
I remember. Thank you so much, Brian.
Oh, thank you.
It was
And
really a
again,
pleasure.
thank you for the nice things you said about the earlier work too. That means the world to me. Some of those books, literally, you were the difference between it being like I get to make another one or I don't. Like that's how little the print run was. So thank you for supporting it. It meant the world to me.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right.